Hi, this is Infotainment TV for you, and we are back with more of Best of Ahmedabad. Today, we are going to visit tombs of some popular people, supper at a village-themed restaurant, and have some glimpse from life of the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. We are starting our day with a breakfast prepared by prisoners. Yes, that's right. A unique outlet at Ahmedabad called Jail Bhajia House sells delicious bhajia or pakoras prepared by inmates. Bhajias prepared from the deep fried batter of gram flour along with other ingredients accompanied by kadhi, that is a thick gravy of yogurt with gram flour again, proved to be good choice to make our day. Established by Chandu Pitambar, an inmate in December 1997, this snack shop is an example of reformation, a hope to change one's own life story, and an opportunity to earn and save legally behind the bars. Following the refreshment, we are passing through the Subhas Circle, dedicated to the Indian nationalist whose defiant patriotism made him a hero in India and the adopter of the slogan Jai Hind, Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose. After a few minutes' drive, we have arrived to Abhay Ghat, the Samadhi of Morarji Desai, or we can say tomb of the fourth Prime Minister of independent India, Morarji Desai. Also, he was the first non-Congress Prime Minister of India. The brick-walled passageway led us to the magnificent Ghat. The green environment of this Samadhi, full of creepers and bushes, indulged us into a peaceful territory, the same given to us during his rule. Desai holds an international fame for peace activism and had helped to restore friendly relations of India with China and Pakistan. In fact, he was honored with the highest civilian award of both the countries, that is Pakistan's Nishan-e-Pakistan Award as well as India's Bharat Ratna Award. This simple living independence activist was the world's oldest living former head of government. Morarji Desai was a moralist and a strict follower of Mahatma Gandhi's principle. Though his demise took place at Mumbai, he had a desire to be cremated near banks of river Sabarmati and Gandhi Ashram, conveyed to the government by his family members. Just beside the monument lies the Sabarmati Ashram Gaushala's unit office and staff quarters managed by NDDB Dairy Services, bypassing which we have reached the Mahatma Gandhi Ashram. Located at the banks of river Sabarmati, this is one of the many residences of Mahatma Gandhi. He lived here for many years with his wife Kasturba Gandhi and followers including Vinoba Bhave. As we advanced towards the main building, that is the Hriday Kunj, we came across a small cottage named Vinoba Kutir. This is the place where the man considered as national teacher of India and the spiritual successor of Mohandas Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave stayed. Today it is also known as Meera Kutir, as Mandeline, the daughter of British Rear Admiral Sir Edmund Slade, renamed as Meera Bain by Gandhiji, lived here following Gandhiji's principle. Named as Hriday Kunj by Kaka Saheb Kalekar, an Indian independence activist and journalist, the main resident building of Gandhiji consists of his wife Kasturba's room, adjacent to which lies the guest room. Central portion of the house has a open roof area and a back gate. Just opposite the Kasturba section lies the kitchen area. The exterior of the house has a veranda for assemblies and meetings, which includes a room at left belonging to the Father of Nation. Trying to peep inside the locked room, we can see Gandhiji's valuables including his spinning wheel, the charkha and his writing table. Just beside the Hriday Kunj lies the Upasana Mandir. This is an open air prayer ground. The Sabarmati ashram is situated between a prison and a crematorium. Gandhiji used to say to his freedom fighters, "This is the right place for our activities to carry on the search for truth and develop fearlessness. For on one side are the iron walls of the foreigners, and on the other, the thunderbolts of Mother Nature." We can imagine Gandhiji and his 78 companions gathered here at this very place on 12th March 1930 to march for Dandi in South Gujarat, 241 miles from the ashram, in protest of the British salt law. Leaving the ashram, Gandhiji and his volunteers marched to this historic wooden bridge now known as the Dandi Bridge. At the start of Dandi March, Gandhiji had vowed not to return to the ashram until India had gained independence. Having decided to have a view of modern Ahmedabad, we are advancing towards Kota area in order to ride on the Sarkhej Gandhinagar Highway or SG Highway. Transiting through the delightful miniature temple works carved from marbles, we are expeding through the SG Highway, the major artery road connecting Ahmedabad to the capital of the state, Gandhinagar. We are witnessing a major construction boom throughout the route. Right from malls, religious places, clubs, hotels, bistros, automotive showrooms, to remarkable contemporary architecture. With a tint of nature shows us a mature green present day Ahmedabad. Leaving the highway, we again set our foot into the city and have arrived to the most revered mosque and tomb complex, the Sarkhej Roza. This monument was initiated in 1445 in order to honor the influential Sufi saint Sheikh Ahmad Ganj Baksh by Muhammad Shah II, the son of establisher of Ahmedabad city, Ahmad Shah I. In fact, it was Saint Ganjbaksh only who suggested Ahmad Shah I to set up a capital city of Ahmedabad at the banks of river Sabarmati. Completed in 1451 by Qutbuddin Ahmad Shah II, this memorial is a fusion of both Indian and non-Indian principles of architecture. The architecture of the complex is credited to the two Persian brothers Azam and Muazzam Khan. Entering this eastern gate, the right-sided building with a handsome stone pavilion, the largest of its kind in Gujarat, is the mausoleum of the Saint Ganjbaksh. Beyond the memorial is a courtyard covering a mosque. Across the courtyard on left side, just opposite the tomb of Ganjbakhsh, connected by a porch, lies the mausoleum of the successor ruler Mahmud Begra, accompanied by the tombs of his son Muzaffar Shah II and his queen Rajabai. Mahmud Begra was very much fond of this place and he has contributed to the expansion of the complex by digging a large Sarkhej lake near the monument beside which we can see the ruins of Mahmud Begra's palace and harem. Sarkhej Roza is an example of early Islamic architectural culture of the region amalgamated with Persian, Hindu and Jain features. This structure is referred as Acropolis of Ahmedabad due to its comparison to Acropolis of Athens of Greece. Crossing the Juhapura area of Ahmedabad, we are going to supper at a village-themed restaurant, the Vishala Hotel. Ingressing ourselves inside this presentation of Indian culture takes us to our traditional village environment through a green passage. Entrance itself shows us the popularity of this unique restaurant with its distinctive utensil museum, the only museum of its kind in the world. We can see the display of the images of celebrities from various fields who visited this quirky place. The designer of this place, Mr. Surendra Patel, a well-known architect, had put efforts to keep us in touch of our heritage along with simplicity, freshness and antique approach. A walk around the hut-like museum truly surprises the visitor with the inimitable beauty of our rich heritage passed on with these vessels. Mr. Patel, along with an anthropologist, Mr. Jyotindra Jain, set up this utensil museum named Vichar. Most of the collection comes from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, and as far as Samarkand and Uzbekistan. Now is the time for our share of meal. Served with traditional etiquettes, we are having the popular Gujarati cuisine, the handwo, with chutneys. It is a healthy and tasty mixed lentil vegetable cake recipe. And here comes everyone's favorite beverage, the chai, flavored with mint leaves. Visit to this great place, representing true Indian values, is a refreshing experience. Riding towards more east, we are now exploring the scholastic side of Ahmedabad. We are having glimpse of public state university, one of the finest of its kind, the Gujarat University. Just opposite the campus of Gujarat University lies the gallery exhibiting works of Indian artist Maqbul Fida Hussain, or popularly known as M.F. Hussain. This underground exhibition, formerly known as Hussain Doshini Gufa after his architect V.V. Doshi and the artist M.F. Hussain, is now renamed as Ahmedabadni Gufa. Externally made up of domes inspired by cells of tortoise and soap bubbles, the structure with its mosaic tiled roofs resembles Jain temples at Girnar. And the interior is divided by three trunks or columns similar to that of Stonehenge, with Hussein's Paleolithic cave art like wall paintings. Cafes located above the ground remains mostly filled with university aspirants. The place represents a noteworthy juxtaposition of architecture and art. Transiting through another educational institute of Ahmedabad, the NID, or National Institute of Design, we gain the first ashram in India organized by Mahatma Gandhi, the Kochrab Ashram. The ashram gave us a glance of Gandhiji's life. Entrance of the ashram shows the impression of young Gandhiji and Kasturba with images of two thinkers, John Ruskin and Tolstoy, who influenced and helped Gandhiji to turn into Mahatma. We can see various valuables including the charkha, letters, and snaps of Gandhiji at various stages of life. Gifted by his friend Barrister Jivanlal Desai, the ashram was organized on basis of simplicity, self-help and human equality. Due to the need of a much larger space, Gandhiji shifted to Sabarmati Ashram after 2 years. Traveling through various municipal structures like the SVP Infirmary, Town Hall, and MG Library, we ensue to our last stop, the Law Garden Street. This public garden, named after the GLS or Gujarat Law Society, is famous for its market on the traditional wares sold by the locals. The eatery market at the opposite side was opened to public as Happy Street in 2020. We ended our journey gazing Ahmedabadis enjoying the dawn and turned back from NCC headquarters bidding the Happy Street a very goodbye. We returned more wiser, reinvigorated and amazed by the diversities of this preeminent city, the Ahmedabad. Thanks for joining us. Do like, share and subscribe for more knowledge. Till then, avjo.